Hey everybody, it's Ad the Red. Let's play a game, shall I? I'm here with Cabin Fever. I saw this on the Steam store and thought it looked a bit interesting. I don't really remember what the description said about it, but I do remember that it kind of intrigued me, but I'm not entirely sure what kind of visual novel this actually is. Like if it has a psychological horror element or something or not. But let's just go ahead and dive in. I hope I got the sound balance, but yeah, you can actually have a
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
or no voice. I don't know. I may go with no voice. Yeah, let's just go with the good old Addison.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Technically applicable about way, really. But
Hey, how's it going?
do I really want? I don't know. You know what? No, I'm gonna go with this. Game Day sensitive content is intended for mature audiences. For more information on your content warning, visit here. Please over your age. Yes, I'm over 13. Chapter 1. Prologue. Click. Clicks are loud. Loading. Loading what? I mean, like. Oh. I don't remember much about the world before the sickness. Yeah, neither do I. It's been such a long fucking time, hasn't it? It fucking feels like it. Jesus Christ. Okay. I was just a kid when it started. Too young to fully grasp all the changes happening across the globe. Looking back, it was as though some cosmic clearance bin of trashy dystopian paperbacks was spilling plot points onto atomed reality. You had your unknown virus, your slow-to-act world leaders, your extremists, deniers on one end, doomsday preppers on the other, and overall just a heck of a lot of scandal and angst. What it boiled down to was this: stay away from each other. Yep, that's simple. Stay away. Because the sickness mutated so rapidly, spread so easily, and killed so many that preventing transmission was the only way to stop it from wiping out the human race. A cure could be developed, they told us. Would be developed, they promised. Somehow, someday. Life changed. Everything from school and work to medical appointments to family dinners became virtual. As it turns out, hosting an online society requires a lot of computer programming. Like, a lot. Like, for me, I'd always had a knack for stuff like that. Glad you do, because I don't. It was easy to get trained and even easier to find work. When's the last time you heard of a young person say that, huh? Yeah. I did programming for medical services, government websites, automated manufacturing. There was no shortage of freelance accounts. Contracts, I mean. Of course, places like movie theaters, shopping malls, and restaurants died out. Even farms and factories became rare, so much of the workforce lost. Then where does all the rest of this, then this starts dying out. You start losing the means of production. You start losing everything what's being produced goes to. Production needs supply. If that goes out, unless supply evolves with it, but, well, again, you still need production to go to the supply. But to be honest, I personally thought all of it was a net gain for the planet. Fewer people meant less pollution. War and terrorism dropped to an all-time low. Most people learned to be at least somewhat self-sufficient. Say sad Panda Park. As for me, closed due to Vivid 22. Well, since my parents both died not long after my high school graduation. Oh, well, I was probably more self-sufficient than most. I was alone for a long time. I wanted to be used to it. At least I was healthy. I had my routine, lots of work to keep me busy, and the internet at my fingertips to keep me from getting bored. Okay, yeah, bored, but what more could I have wanted? Turns out lots of things that humans need to keep, psychologically healthy. I clicked. Okay. I lived in an off-grid cabin that had built in my family for years. Achieving out the world as we know it. When I was young, we used to visit every summer just to get away from it all. I'd probably call that ironic, but every time I say that word, someone tells me I'm using it wrong. Because irony is a defiance of expectation. Anyway, when the sickness started spreading, the cabin became a place to survive. And everything a small family could need. Though, like I said, by this time I was a member of my bubble. I was used to taking care of myself. On a good day with the sunshine on the solar panels, I get wood power, got the appliances in the house, keep the battery bank full. And since the cabin's set into the mountains, I'd often get a decent power level at night with a wind turbine catching the air coming off the ridge. But that night it was raining. Hard. Wow, look at what you turned it into. That is a nice cabin turned to a sty. Holy shit. Like most evenings, I spent this one on my computer playing my favorite idle clicker game and browsing the web for the news. The news was mostly doom and gloom, of course, but I like finding the odd tech or space-related article sprinkled in. I was thinking about how badly I wanted aliens to be real when an email alert danced in the corner of my screen. I opened it. Yet another forward from one of my more gullible work colleagues had a possible cure for the death-dealing virus. This particular claim apparently stemmed from a breakthrough in the study of bovine bodily function. What a load of bullshit. Literally. Good one. That's pretty much the only company I had anymore, so yeah, I talk to myself. I talk to myself, even when there are people around. It's just something I do. I deleted the email, letting out a heavy sigh. There was a point in time when I found that sort of thing amusing, the ridiculous conspiracy theories and clickbait titles, but now I just found them sad. This game is gonna make me drink. Coffee. I glanced at the clock. Time for tea. I put the computer into sleep mode and head into the kitchen. On my way there, I accidentally kicked a broomstick laying across the floor. Ow, 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 ow. Fuck! Why is it even there? I never sweep. There's the offending broom right there. In that moment, I judged myself hard. I judged you hard the moment I saw this. Oh well, the world basically ended, so what was the point of cleaning up? Gives you something else to do, and it's, provides a healthier living conditions, because this has gotta be producing some kind of, this something's growing in somewhere in some of this. It wasn't like I was visiting company. I kicked the broom aside and carried on. In the kitchen, I steeped a nice big cup of herbal tea, and when I tossed my used tea bag into the compost bin, noting as I did, the bin was nearly full. Veggies. I'd take it out soon, empty the tumbler with the rest of my food, scraps, and plant waste. Then, probably in the spring, I'd add fresh compost to the garden, give my plants a healthy nutrient boost. Figured that's where those came from. I mean, where else would they be? Sticky notes! I love my plants. Wanted them to be strong in case they ever needed to defend the cabin from zombies or traveling salespeople. Smirking to myself, I stood in the kitchen and sipped my tea. The only sound was the muffled rush of the rain outside. So peaceful. Very. Recently, it has been raining a lot. Except when I have days off. It just rains when I'm at work. Which, just kind of makes me wish I was at home. More than I normally do. Ellipses. Fuck off. Pardon? What was that? That was an E! A fox flying outside? A raccoon? That wasn't a person in my garden, was there? Betty, I'm getting the shotgun. There's lawyers in the barn. Baby, won't you wake up? One at the window, peering out into the darkness and listening hard. I don't have to go out there and check, do I? I mean, someone could be in trouble. Someone could also be infected. But then again, someone could be trouble. Yeah. Maybe just stand on the porch and yell whoever it is, get off the lawn. What are my options? Stay inside and lock all the doors. I'm gonna pop a save, just cuz, and go outside and investigate the noise, because I think that's the direction the game would like me to move in. Scream really unscented human. Could also be like a mountain lion or something. I could just ignore that. Much as I wanted to stay inside, warm and dry. I was raised by humanitarian hippies, and all I got was this pesky conscience. Kidding! Love you, Mom and Dad. Please don't haunt me. Kitchen cabinets start rattling violently. I set down my tea and went to find my crank-powered flashlight and shoved my feet in a pair of boots. For good measure, grab the broom. You can at least use the shaft of it as a weapon. Hopefully, and probably, I wouldn't find anything out there, but checking was the right thing to do. Oh, you have a shovel, actually. That'd be a great weapon. The big, you know, it's a big metal blade on the end of a... Yeah. Ooh, nice. I pulled open the door and stepped out into the porch. The flashlight flickered pathetically. Luckily, all you need to power up a hand crank flashlight is hands, which I had, kind of in the name, so you'd assume as much. I scanned the dark garden. Raindrops lit up as the light passed over them, and the trees and shrubs around the cabin swayed. All I could hear was wind and rain. A chill ran down my back. I clicked too early. Yo! Anybody out there? Yo. Yeah, I gave you the right name. No? Cool. Have a good night then. I definitely gave you the right name. I turned to head back inside. A small voice stopped me in my tracks.
Hello? I'm here. Would you mind, helping me out of this, please?
Helping you out of what? Your clothing, perhaps, miss? No, okay, I'm sorry, what? The rain seemed to beat down hard as my pulse sped up. I turned my flashlight toward the voice, my hand visibly trembling. It sure is cold out. I'm definitely not shaking out of fear because that'd be super lame. I forced myself to step down off the porch and follow the path until finally I was close enough to make out the shape of a person. As the weak flashlight beam illuminated more, I gasped. That posterior, though! Whatever I've been expecting to find, it certainly wasn't this delicate wisp of a girl in a very flattering sweater. She was so pale she almost looked like a ghost. Even her hair, long and clinging to her face in the rain, shone bright, almost white in the glow of the flashlight. She crouched down on her hands and knees in the mud as though she'd fallen. 100 questions raced through my head. Where'd she come from? How long had she been out in the storm? Why wasn't she dressed with the rain? Was she lost? Was she sick? I tried to sound tough like my dad would have. You there! What are you doing on my property? The young woman squinted against the flashlight.
Please? I got lost and I promise I wasn't trying to steal anything.
No one mentioned thievery. I'm doubting. Her voice quivered, which I thought was kind of dumb. After all, she was the interloper. It was me who should be freaking out. Which I was. Well, then explain yourself. Why are you just laying on the ground there? Seems pretty sus. Why the heck did I add that last part? Yeah, yeah, why? I want to smack you now a little bit. What was I trying to do? Lighten the mood? The girl turned her head away. Was she trying to make me feel bad? Was she, God forbid, siphoning a cough? I took a step back, going to take any chances.
Can't get up.
Her matter-of-fact tone surprised me. I guess I was expecting some elaborate sob story and or pleas for food or money or medicine. It could still be a trick, I thought. She could be getting ready to rob me. At this point, my flashlight was going to lose its brightness. I stood there cranking the handle to power the light back up. Thank God that didn't go on until I clicked off that dialogue. Or this bit of text. It was a long, awkward intermission, back with the droning sound of the flashlight being worked. Just kind of be with you in a moment. Sorry for the delay. But the light was coming back on. I wanted to crank a few more times to shine it brighter on her. Holy fuck that. How are you so calm? The whole horrifying picture became clear. Yes, and again, why aren't you like, I don't know, screaming? In pain? Somehow the girl had gotten her leg caught in one of my animal traps. She must not have seen the rusted old thing in the dark and then it grabbed her calf and torn it open. Rusted too! Hope you had your shots. Okay. So this probably wasn't the trick. Oh my god, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I just had this metal jaw thing latched around my ankle. I'm good. I started to move towards her, but then my own legs froze in fear. Fear of getting close to another human. If she was sick, then I could get sick. But then I know knowing whether or not she carried the virus, and right now she was hurt and trapped because of me. Felt horrible. If I let her to fend for herself, anything could happen. A hungry bear might come along. Weather could turn freezing. And even if she did manage to get herself out of the trap, she'd probably develop an infection fast as a nasty wound. Swallowing hard, I clenched my fist and forced myself to approach her. I had to get way, way too close to comfort, but I crouched, opened the trap, and freed her leg. It was bleeding pretty heavily, though now that I could see it up close, it didn't look to be as deep as I'd feared. It still looks like some of the teeth went in. In!
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you found me. I was afraid I'd be trapped in that thing all night.
Or longer? I stood up quickly and took a few steps back. For some reason, the girl was smiling at me. Didn't she understand that it was my stupid fault she'd gotten hurt? And again, maybe she shouldn't have been sneaking around in the dark. My brain bickered with itself over who was to blame before realizing the girl wasn't able to get her to her feet. I reluctantly offered a hand, wishing I thought to bring some nitrile gloves. But why would I have thought of that? I hadn't seen the human in... How long had it been? Accepting my help, the girl climbed to her feet. She wobbled, leaned in, and grabbed my waist to use me as a crutch.
Sorry. Is it okay that I'm touching you like this?
No, but... Her words sent a chill down my spine. Touching? Just thought of it made me break out in a cold sweat. It's fine. Let's just get out of this rain. What was I doing? When did I decide to let her in my house? The warm light glowing into the cabin was like a beacon drawing us in. Well, said my brain to myself, I guess this is the thing we're doing now. I no longer needed my flashlight, so I tucked it away and used that hand instead to help support the injured girl on the pathway. With my arm around her waist and her arm around my shoulder, it became very clear to me how small she really was. It's late. Sorry. Small and delicate like a folded paper crane. Alright. A soggy, limp paper crane and a drenched dress that clung to her shivering body. Just then, my pant leg caught on something. A nail jutting out from the side of the porch. I felt the fabric tug and rip as we moved past. Great! What an evening this is turning out to be. Once we made it inside, I helped the stranger sit down in a wooden chair. I made a mental note to disinfect that chair later, and my clothes, maybe even the flashlight, but first aid. Where'd I put that kit? I was never good at staying organized. Even on my computer or my folders and internet tabs were a mess. No point finding entropy, that was my philosophy. Sure you're not just lazy? I mean, even I'm a lazy bitch and I try to, organize stuff even if there's a clutter, I try to organize the clutter until I can get rid of it, which eventually I will do. I mean that this is eventually does happen. It ends up getting cluttered again later. I searched the drawers, the counter, the floor, and nearly tripped over that dumb broom again before finally finding the first aid kit. It was not well stocked, but it would do for now. I gathered some towels on my forehead thermometer too, and I washed my hands, pulled on some gloves and a face mask from an old box in the back of the cupboard, and brought everything over to the waiting girl. Before anything else, let me scan your temperature. I held the scan to her forehead. 2 seconds passed before I heard the good beep, which meant her temperature was normal. No fever, that's a relief. Given the symptoms? Her eyes widened. She shook her head. Well, better to be cautious. I barely breathed as I took her leg into my lap and started tending her wound. Hello. This is a very strange foot fetish. She didn't wince or complain at all. She was tougher than she looked. I was the opposite, I knew. I looked mean even when I wasn't trying, but on the inside I was basically a fluffy yellow duckling with anxiety. If our situation was reversed, and as my leg all cut up like that, I'd probably been a weepy wreck spouting rare and extravagant curse words. Rare. No, it just evolves into fuck, shit, God, fuck, damn it, God, fuck, shit. Just, the good old-fashioned ones. No need to be special. Just stick to tradition. But she just sat there, quietly watching.
Are you a doctor?
No. Was she joking? Do you honestly think I look like a doctor. Shit. Way to draw attention to your looks, idiot. I thought to myself. Not that I cared, really. It was just that I hadn't combed my hair in a few days. Or weeks. And I've been living in the same set of clothes for a while now. Ratty old t-shirt with a rocket ship in the front and a pair of jeans that are long gone out of fashion. Who fucking cares about never mind. Hot, right? Another life I might have felt self-conscious. Not about my teeth, though. Never about my teeth. Dentists were kind of a thing of the past, and since I wanted to keep my teeth for treating purposes and whatnot, I was committed to practicing good oral hygiene. Not to mention, if you get a tooth infection, that could kill you if you don't pull the tooth. And hopefully that solves the problem. Hopefully. Otherwise, it's sepsis, and then you die.
Well, I'm not sure what a doctor looks like, but you seem to know what you're doing, and you're a very kind person.
Ha!
I believe you if you told me you were a doctor.
That means you're gullible and a bad judge of character. Great. I feel very sorry for you. I looked away, awkwardly holding a clean bandage against a gash in her leg. The towels I'd used to clean the blood in a pile of blood-soaked, mud-stained rags on the dirty floor. Oh, wound. Okay. Was I a kind person? It's just basic first aid. Not a big deal. Here, hold this. Put pressure on while I wrap it up. A rapid length of gauze around her narrow leg to hold the bandage in place. That should be okay overnight, but we should probably clean it again and rewrap it tomorrow. Her leg didn't leave my lap. Instead, she wiggled her toes and shot me a small smile. Okay, that's kind of cute.
You're going to let me stay here?
Well, this is kind of my fault, so it would be the humane thing to do. The ethical thing. Huh? I looked up at her and instantly forgot how to speak because suddenly I was struck by how pretty she was. I mean, the rain had literally done a number on her, but still. She must have been around 20, give or take, not much younger than me. She was thin, but everyone was thin these days. With her, it was like she'd been built this way, small and delicate and weightless. Her dress was simple and a little threadbare. The rain had soaked through, and I realized I could sort of see her undergarments. Huh. I quickly averted my eyes, my cheeks warming. Hope she hadn't noticed me looking, because I really hadn't meant to look. Tee-hee.
You said clean it again tomorrow, right?
I did say that. The room seemed to spin a little, and my face went from feeling very hot to feeling very cold. Stay away from each other. That was the rule. What was I supposed to do? Well, I'm probably going to say maybe it's okay if she stays, because, again, that's probably the way the direction the game wants to go, thinking about this from a meta perspective, but at the same time, ethically and also human contact. Although the main character, Addison, here seems like they're probably a little bit wary of that, for obvious reasons. But at the same time, human contact, and this is our fault. So, probably gonna say that. But I think I'll leave that till next time. I still don't know yet if I'm gonna do a full playthrough of this or not. But at the very least, for now, I'm still interested in it. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode.